Yeah, sorry for the jumping picture and probably not a perfect sound, but that's the thing in my mirror that you're looking at. It's a load bank, basically kind of like a container sitting on 4 legs. And you see the blue truck? That's the guy with oops, sorry. The guy with a step deck trailer, right? And this is a big construction site northwest of Albany, New York. And sorry, I'm using my smartphone because I didn't want to attract too much attention using my camera. And the thing is that I drove 6 hours here from Canada. This is about 300 miles, 600 kilometers. Now there's 2 guys here from the rental company. Like the construction site rented these big load banks or generators, and they have divisions all over Canada and the States, and I'm supposed to take this back to Canada. And 2 guys from the same company but from the American branch supervising this, and one of them, and it's up to them to decide. And the guy says, well, there's no crane. Basically you're supposed to back under it, and then they lower those legs, kind of like what I had with that crane housing, but that one had hydraulic legs and they could go really low, right? Because my trailer is so low, these legs have only so much room. They have about, I don't know, 6 inches, you know. And they said, yeah, we're not gonna load you. And then I went back, you know, I started thinking about my trailer. Wait a second, I got hydraulics, right? I can raise the front much higher, like temporarily, than my traveling position, and then I can use some boards, and then I can have the manual override in the back. I can raise the back, but probably not by a foot. But right now I'm 26. I went to the highest riding level, 26 inches, so I can probably add maybe another 30. So I'll make it 30 inches. So I went back to the same guy. I said, hey, I can do this, and I have you know, oak boards which are what, 3 inches wide, so I can put 2 boards across. That's 6. And the guy says no, because we never loaded this kind of trailer before. And I asked him to call the company. He called the Canadian company, and I guess they said it's up to him, and he said, no, I'm sorry, I'm not gonna load you. Oh boy. So now you know, you always think in such situations, like, what could he have done differently, you know? But not much, you know, except to maybe call and verify. But this is a huge construction project, and they have a whole bunch of contractors, right? And actually that's one advice I want to give to truckers, is that you must know the contact name or the contractor name, because they send you to a construction site and it's not done by one company, it's done by like 300 small companies or contractors, right? And there's a project manager, a project supervisor, who usually knows what's going on, but often he doesn't. So let's say one of the contractors rents or returns equipment that they rented from somebody. So the project guy will say, hey, I have no idea, it's a big site, you know. And so this guy, I got in my email, I just had the name of the project and the generic phone number. And I called the phone number and it says, operator. I said, well, I'm here to pick up a generator. I have no idea who I'm supposed to talk to. And she said, let me hook you up to shipping, let me transfer you to shipping and receiving. And that guy never heard of a generator. But anyway, so it turns out the security guy at the gate knew what it was, and then I called the rental company. Their phone number was there. And he says, yeah, it's not a generator, it's a load bank. And then some guy in a pickup truck showed up, escorted me over there. But he said it's up to these guys to decide, and the guy's saying, no, it's a very expensive piece of equipment. We don't want to put any boards under it. We want it to sit directly on the trailer, you know. So it's basically, yeah, my trailer is not that wrong for this job, but the ideal trailer would be just a step deck, you know, with the regular 40 inches or 36 inches off the ground. That would be the perfect trailer for this one. And that's it. Now the only way to load is with a crane. With a crane they can do it, but the guy says there's no crane today. So anyway, so I called dispatch. I said, here's what's happening. So I guess I said I'm not too happy, you know, about driving 6 hours here from Canada and paying all these tolls and now I have to pay the tolls again. I said I want to see some money, and I asked them to look into like options if they can rent a crane or something. And basically I'm waiting for them to call me and tell me what am I supposed to do next. So that's another, you know, a real life drama, real life adventure, because I'm sitting next to my load. I cannot pick it up. Not because of me, but because of the thinking of the loading guys, right? Because they don't feel comfortable with and there's nowhere to park, you know. That's another thing. So I snuck in the corner here somewhere, and I'm still on the way. See, the guy was fueling that John Deere. Anyway, we'll see what happens later. And I'm still sitting at the site. I moved my truck because I was parked, I didn't notice that I was parked right where the guys are working now, and there's a little intersection here. And it looks like it's, what, 11:45. There's like whole crowds of people in these safety vests crossing the street, like flowing around my truck. So I moved back, and to my left is the exit. And at first they told me, oh, you'd have to back out. Like, what the heck? I can drive out. And these little green structures on the left, those are portable toilets. You know? Like these guys nowadays, construction guys don't have to rough it, as Mark Twain used to say, right? They have all the conveniences here. Yeah, I talked to my dispatch again, sent them an email, and surprisingly my T-Mobile works here. And I really love that unlimited internet feature, I'm telling you. I can wait, when there's no internet, I can wait till I get to a better place with a good or better reception. But it's really handy, you know. Now I don't have to worry when I receive a message saying that 99 updates available for your phone. Click here to install. So before I had the Wi-Fi only uploads for updates. Now I uncheck that. So now I update them whenever I feel like it. And yeah, they were talking about the crane. And this rental company guy says, well, the crane is no good because then they have to rent the train on the other side to unload it. Oh, Jesus, I see a Landau guy backing under here. Ah, okay. So I think my work here is done. Because I see a day cab backing in here, and of course his trailer is much more versatile. It's a Landau, so it's a tilt and load, and he can really get it under this thing. So if that guy is picking this thing, that's it, then I can just leave. because I saw the rental guys, you know, look at me and they kind of smile and laugh, you know. Basically, what an idiot. But all I did was follow my orders, so to speak, right? Yeah, and then guys come in here. We'll just see. I wish I could have shown you guys this, but my truck is far away. Yeah, and then guys moving the cones. So clearly they're making way for that landau trailer to come in and load this stupid thing. So yeah, now I gotta call dispatch and tell them that's it. There's no more loads. Landau is coming. And that's the reality of trucking, ladies and gentlemen. So always think twice before doing a long deadhead, especially into a foreign country, right? From Canada to US, you know, 300 miles. Well, at least it's not as bad as a friend of mine who pulls a tanker. He was in British Columbia. They told him there was a good load in Los Angeles, California, which is like, what, 1,500 miles away? Almost 2,000 miles. So he drives over there, and there's no load. The load has been canceled. And they send him empty. They say, hey, go to Houston, Texas. From California, he goes empty to Houston, Texas. But at least he has a deal where his company is paying him fuel surcharge. I think it's like 30 cents. So for every mile he runs empty, they pay him 30 cents. So in my case, I get nothing. So it can be worse, really, but it can be worse. So today is not a very good day for SERGEI DRATCHEV and Heavy Haul TV.